this looks good.
Oh my God, this is
Right.
delicious.
Well, let's now move into our main topic, our plate of the day. So we are continuing our series this month around being Black in the military. Uncle Sam says we need you, but why join, right? So Carmen, I mentioned before, like I had a misconception of what your relationship is with the military. And not only was I wrong, but it's actually goes deeper and is more robust in terms of the network you have around you, which is super interesting to me. I personally only have one cousin who served in Iraq and did a few tours there. And so that was my insight. And for me, he joined right before 9/11 happened. So then it was like one of those things where he was already in, and he was too young, or he was too fresh to be sent to Afghanistan at the time. But then time passed and he got trained up, got sent to Kuwait, and then after Kuwait went to Iraq and fought in the Iraq War. So my relationship is very, very narrow with the military because I come from a place of a traumatized, because he was my cousin, but like my brother. So like having my brother at war during a time where like I'm in high school and I literally think that America's gonna have a 9/11 #2. I really think like, like my cousin's gonna die in war and everything is bad. And I hated George Bush and Republicans are bad and the military follows the Republicans, and that was it. Like it was so closed-minded. But I'd be interested to hear from you, Carmen, both what your journey was leading up to you joining, what happened, and just sort of the general like feeling that you've had around the military overall.
So, I, for some reason, maybe it's in my DNA, from a young age, it was my dream to join the military. I think that the reasons, like I said, I was a tomboy. I loved structure. I loved organization, and I loved to do things in a timely manner and execute it efficiently, right? And what job is the best to do that under those kind of circumstances is the military. The only other option would be a police officer. That wouldn't have been no option. But the military always was something connected to me. So I went into junior high helping children with disabilities, and I was already starting my college application. A lot of community service, a lot of understanding of how personalities are. And then I got into high school, and that's where they had ROTC as an elective, and I chose it, and I did a lot of PT, the basics of what would happen in preparation for the military, layman's terms, words used. So I trained for 4 years in high school for an ROTC for the Marines. So I was very happy. I was going to go in at a higher stature, ready to go, ready to serve the country. And I just felt like there's certain people built for that. For those who aren't, you have to be selfless, right? There's not many people out there that are selfless. In order to serve a country, to protect others, that's the way that and I can say myself, is how I image that. I need to protect my family. And so much I do that with everyone. I never realized as time went that I do that with everyone. So people who join the military are very selfless. They definitely want to protect what's theirs in their country and however means necessary. My mentor, who I think of as a mother, served in the Vietnam War, and she's just the boss bitch, and I love her so much to this day. She still will carry her rifle inside of a closet, and you could see that post-traumatic stress at its full capacity, right? As it's home, where a person you talk to every day, and as they get older, how it just resonates a little bit more. And I just feel like if our governments have all this money to build weapons of mass destruction, why don't we have more of a protection for our veterans? It's ridiculous that they don't have money. It's ridiculous that they don't have as much services more in the mental health realm as they should. You know, it's just not enough. And that's my aspects about it. And I didn't get to join the military because I had to make a life choice, in which that intertwines to that earlier in the conversation where I came into New York in 97. I was pregnant with my son. So I had to make a choice, and the choice was either I don't have my son. I was 3 days from being sworn in, and my physical came back that I was pregnant, and I had to make a choice whether years of building my body, my mentals, my emotion to go serve this country, or have my son. And we see where that went. Wow. I had my son, came to the BX, and now I'm here.
Wow, that's incredible. Wow, like even just that choice and the weight of having to make a choice like that is, again, speaking to your tenacity.
Yeah. I did train so long for it. Even at 33, I still was going to try to go back when the kids were a little older and just train myself again physically. But then, you know, they all looked at me like, can you not? This person's coming into presidency, and I don't think that's a good idea. And I get it, and I didn't. And it was the same voices from the first time that was like, yeah, don't do it. Like, you're here, we need you, and going away that long just doesn't make any sense. So I was like, all right, but I guess now I just drill them. I'm their drill sergeant, so I completed in some way.
And would you say that some of that training, like even you talked a lot about like reframing your mindset and all that, how has that helped you in life in general outside? So you didn't go to the military, but you're trained, you're trained. So like,
yeah,
how has training helped you outside of the military?
A lot, working in the medical field, it's the same. It's, above you, the people that you need to talk to, who does what. It's like a small military. And I think that it grew in my everyday life, in the structure of my expectations of things and how I do work. Everything just, it falls into that play. It falls somehow, some way into the training of, I need that neat, I need that organized, I need that on the Excel spreadsheet. How many days before that? Time. It's so incredible how I can identify from the moment that a person leaves, how long before they're going to get here, and intertwine that multitask part. And it's a gift. I'm going to give it a buck. I'm not going to toot my own home, but it's a gift, because that helps when you do meetings, when you need to be in so many places at once. What the driving is, what's the traffic, shit like that. Like, it's really crazy how my brain just, does all that calculation at once.
So how would you say you get to serve your country or community, I'll say / community, even though you weren't able to do it through the vehicle of the military?
I think that God had a purpose, and it led me right to this very moment today, in where there was something that was lacked in giving back to a large community, and seeing that they lacked that, and offering myself to give that what they lacked. And it's been that part where I got fulfilled, to see this little business grow into something so big and so impactful in the community, and being part of that organizing and sustainability is just it's the fulfilling part that I was missing as far as the military. And the humbleness of, the same as the military, when they see you and you come home and they say thank you. I always see a military person in their gear, and I'm just like, thank you, because they don't have to do it. Mm-hmm. I'm hearing that now, like, just thank you. You're still here, you're still doing stuff, And you know me, I don't like to try to be in the public eye as my counterpart, but I like to be behind the scenes and just making sure shit's running right. And that's fulfilling for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're so good at it. You know what I mean? Like, you're so good at keeping it together. So it makes sense that a lot of that training allows you to navigate these difficult spaces as you were preparing yourself to literally navigate war. So I think it's really admirable. And I even love the piece around you always having this dream to be in the military. Because usually when the way they stereotype women, and young girls, your dream should have been nowhere near something with the military. I would love to hear a little bit more about, like, little Carmen, and like how can we flesh that out more?
Growing up in the 90s as a teenager, it was, of course, like every girl is just like, I'm just trying to be in this next hip hop video, or I'm just trying to, get married, have kids, and walk down this aisle. And me being the one about the military is just like, I want to be the first woman to do something that they didn't allow a woman to do in the military. It was like, I want to be the first Golden Knight jumping out of an airplane. I want to be the first Navy SEAL, to go down and do whatever quest or duty that has to be done. I just wanted to be the first woman to do something in the military. And I guess that was my dream. Like, women can do what men do. I don't give a crap how you might see that. But like, I know women have such more perseverance and strength to conquer something, and then some from the male. Not diminishing the male in any kind of way, but just like we're a little bit more of a alien aspect, like if we can birth out a child, a human life, and cater to it, then damn it, I can build a plane too. Why does it have to be a man? And that's just how I saw it in that that 15-year-old me. Like, girl, bye, you about to go build this plane, let's get it. But instead I build a life.
And how did you getting pregnant lead you to New York though? Like, because you said that you were in Florida, right?
So growing up in a Pentecostal home, the last thing you want to do is roll up on your mom on the exact same thing they try to prevent you from doing. Although I was emancipated, I emancipated myself when I was 16 legally. And I left to live life in Florida, just be my independent person, just because I much as I love my siblings, it just wasn't my duty to raise them. And I felt like a lot of what I wanted to do in my life was taken from me in that old, way of being. Like, es tu hermano, tú lo tienes que cuidar, tú tienes que hacer esto y esto y lo otro. And I'm like, bro, how can we be better if we still keep in this vicious cycle of this is what I'm supposed to be? I'm supposed to be a woman at home with kids and cooking and cleaning it. I'm not going to find a marido because if I don't know how to cook and clean, and well, I can cook and clean and I want to freaking build an airplane too. Like why can't I do that? And I just felt that my parents at this time did not understand that, and they didn't get that, and that's okay. And I just emancipated myself. But somewhere down that line, I got pregnant, and that's okay too. It led me to who I am today. And I don't think that I would change the process, the struggle and the stress and the hurt. I will do it all over again.
Yeah. Yeah. You're a tough cookie, Carmen. No, I
try.
I'm inspired by it. Also because it's inspirational to hear, but also even the way in which you speak about it. It's so resolved. Like, you sound so resolved with everything that has happened with your life. And that's not to say that, not to take away from any continued work or emotional progress that you're doing with, like, corners of your life, but like, you're doing a hell of a job. You're doing
Mhm.
I'm trying.
I want to validate it, and I keep like throwing out these positive affirmations your way aggressively, and will continue to do so just because I think it is so important, especially when you see people who like you who are movers and shakers behind the scenes, right? Which to me, honestly, like the behind the scenes is the front of the scenes, because without the behind the scenes, the front of this, there is no front. There's no.
Tell it, girl.
It's just the mess.
Okay, them photos and video ain't gonna take themselves.
Right, exactly. Things do not happen without the behind the scenes, and so I think like it is important to understand like the amount of work that goes into really doing passion work, because it sounds like what you did was you accepted the way the universe was going, you owned your choices, you moved far and hard into your choices, and as the world has evolved for you in your life, and like, you know, we don't have to get into the details, but like you made it from being a mom, and then you made it to entrepreneur, you were running a whole thing, and then you were doing that as a mom, crazy, and then transitioning, no, for real,
mom of three.
A mom of three. And how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? How old are
Elijah, come here. This is the reason why I moved to New York.
Oh, this is
the reason why I moved to New York mostly is I had some family here, but I didn't want my children to be raised in a small town where everybody knows your name. It wasn't very healthy for me, and I wanted them to experience life, because that's what's gonna give them that hard ass to continue in life. So okay, you just easy enough, put your face in there.
sneaking in the fridge. What's up? Nice.
Hi.
Yeah. This is my oldest, the whole reason why I'm here.
La cara igualita la mai. Tiene la cara.
I think
Yep,
so.
those cheekbones.
Maybe.
He got the
cheekbones.
They all got the cheekbones. They're not here right now, but they're off at Six Flags. But they all got the cheekbones.
Yeah.
These are those Cuban cheekbones.
That's but really, no, and really, so the point to what I'm saying is just that it's important to celebrate the amount of work that people like you do to get where they're at, and understand the progression, because I think we live in a world where people lack the substance of understanding people's story, and they just step into a space and they take people for who they are in the moment, and don't give people their due. Don't talk respect on people's name. And listen, at the end of the day, like, you're as tenacious as you are, but that doesn't mean that you get to skip other people's bullshit and other people, like, and being a woman running any business, period, I don't care, I'm pulling the card, being a woman, and then being a woman of color, entering these spaces and having these conversations, and yeah, you know, like, you're not the front person, but you're sitting at these tables, you're right there, and you're experiencing and there must be, you know, some heat that sometimes happen, or awkward situations that you are out here navigating. And so you are just as much as a master as the master that people might see on the front lines. So I'm just really grateful that, you know, to know you. And I'm really grateful to have worked with you on certain things. I really like part of the work.
I love you too, guys.
Trying to like,
don't make me tear, my makeup girl.
But it's, you know, it's necessary, and it's necessary to do so not just privately in our own little circles, but also publicly on our platforms, to affirm like the people who we're with and you see us riding with is not just our cute ass little selfies and moments that y'all see on Instagram. These are people who have stories, who have worked really hard and deserve their flowers. They deserve their flowers. And
I appreciate that. And I'm glad that you guys are the first one to give me these flowers. And I love you so much. I love you guys so much. And I really do appreciate it. I usually don't accept to do podcasts, but I mean, look at these faces. Like, I honestly can't say no to these guys. But you know, I appreciate your thoughts, and I appreciate your words, and I just, you know, overjoyed with gratitude. Thank you.
Sure. So yeah, we're, you know, that the last sort of question that I want to wrap with is that we've been wrapping with so far with this segment is if people should or should not join the military, why or why not, in your opinion?
I would never probably say why not. I think everyone should follow what they feel and dream. I just think for the U.S. government, you know, You have to do better, you know, and that's where that's at with the military. Follow your dreams. If that's what you feel, that means you'll be that highly decorated officer that comes home and makes your family proud. And as far as the U.S., you need to give more to your people who fight for you. You need to take some of that, you know, nuclear weapon money and really pay even after when they're unenlisted, you know, and that's where it becomes, it's like they just need to pay, you know, and do right.
Yeah, I literally, like, I've had this, my newly found like obsession with veterans and veteran rights, and also just even seeing what Trump was trying to do in the military with the trans community. Like when that started happening, I was like, oh, that's crazy. But also even outside of the trans community, there's a lot of lack, and it goes beyond like race, gender, and all of that. Just all of the people who have made this life choice to serve our country are always shitted on, even after they've done the work. Like even after they've fulfilled.
It's more after they've done the work, and that's what sucks even more. You know, like I literally spend 50 years in the military, and all I get every month is $400 and a wheelchair. Like that's just not. I don't think that that's a good retirement plan, and it just sucks. And we could do better. We need to do better. They need to really sit at that table with the people, with everyone, and really have that conversation, you know?
100%. Carmen, this has been fucking fruitful.
Oh, thank you.
Let us know, where can we follow you, find you, any up and coming things we should be looking out for?
I would say you could find me on the IG at bxqueen718. What you can be looking forward is now that, you know, things are a little bit in some type of order at Bronx Native, I will be doing real estate come 2021. So
come on.
The real estate that I would like to offer in the future is those platforms where people can come not only to my real estate company and say, hey, I'm looking for an apartment or a house, but to give them the resources of getting their stuff in order to own stuff instead of, you know, going out here and renting. Yeah. And also having a little bit of, you know, the do-it-yourself. A lot of people just Google the DIYs. I would like to have workshops at the space to show them how to do something as simple and less, you know, hurtful on the pocket with a gallon of paint and finesse, you know? So that's for 2021 for myself of what I'm working on and my dream. I love to fix it up, and I'm about to fix them up.
Let's do it. That sounds great.
Like, honestly, because this real estate comment, I love, like, you came with the real estate talk before, and you're like, and by the way, to back it up, I'm helping y'all motherfuckers do it. And this is why
yeah.
And I love the way you fucking move, because you are absolutely
yes, thank you so much. But stay tuned for that. It's gonna start small. I like to do things where I have minimal errors, so it's a little slower than most, but at the end of it all, it's gonna be absolutely beautiful. Like just a platform where people can come and have under one roof. You know, hey, where do you want to go buy your house? Oh, I don't know, pero Casita Carmen is gonna tell us. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go over there. You know,
come on, Casita Carmen.
Gonna have the white version of Celia Cruz come out like, oh, tu quieres comprar casa? Let's go.
I love it. I love it. Cannot wait to see it and join in, because like I low key, I have this little Park Chester apartment that I'm still paying my mortgage on, but this is not supposed to be my.
You own it though, boo. That's what matters.
You know,
own it.
I'm coming for property numero dos, so I'm gonna come to Casita Carmen for that. Love it.
Yes, definitely. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. And what was the third question?
No, just you actually answered the handles. What's
okay?
Up?
Yes.
You are on it.
That's it. That's all I got.
Y'all can find us at Ladies Who Bruncher on Instagram, Ladies Bruncher on Twitter, Julissa with an H, Julissa at Instagram, and The Real Skittles with a Z at the end on Instagram.
Amazing. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, bruncher.